Welcome back to the Help for Individual Small Businesses Business Boost Virtual Series 2020, sponsored by the Business and Professional Women's Federation, Texas Central Metropolitan Chapter. Our jurisdictional supervisor is Dr. Gladys Lockett-Ross. Our jurisdictional prelate is Bishop Frank E. Faneuil. Our local jurisdictional president is Jennifer Carrington. Today's special guest will be Dr. Valerie Daniels-Carter. Our topic is, when is the right time to hire help? I hope you enjoyed this pre-recorded audio interview. Feel free to post and comment questions as they will be answered accordingly.
World-renowned Valerie Daniels-Carter is author of Your Business is His Business and owner of over 140 restaurants, including Burger King and Pizza Hut. She is the first African American elected to the board of directors of the NFL franchise. She's voted by Essence Magazine as one of 50 most inspiring African Americans. But above all, she is holy, saved, and anointed.
She pressed through the crowd. Think about the crowd. I don't just think about the people. I think about issues. In other words, came to church tonight with some issues. And I need to press through my issues in order to get to my God. I don't know about you tonight, but I've got to reach the portals of heaven.
Join the
Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
Doing great. How are you, Dr. Carter?
I am doing good. I can't complain. Thank the Lord.
That's great. That's great. I won't hold you too much. First of all, I want to ask you to mute any background noise. And again, I want to say thank you for taking the time out to have this interview with me today. And I want to let you know that the interview will scheduled to be released in the Business and Professional Women magazine for Texas Central Metropolitan Jurisdiction for the 2018-2019 release in July. So thank you so much for your time. Can you hear me well? I'm just testing the lines.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Awesome. Okay, I'll just only take about 10 minutes. So about now, we know the lines are clear. And then if there's any interruption or background noise on my end, hopefully not, then I'll have to restate the question. So it'll also be in our Branding Made Easy podcast. All right. So thank you for joining me. We have on the line Dr. Valerie Daniels-Carter, and she is an entrepreneur, to say the least, and she is with us today, and she'll be interviewed for the Business and Professional Women magazine, as well as the Branding Made Easy podcast. Thank you for joining us. How are you today?
I am well. How are you doing today?
Doing great. And for those who do not know who she is, of course, again, as stated, she is an entrepreneur. She is an author, and we are going to dig in a little bit deeper, and so maybe she can introduce herself. I know she's always being introduced, but there's nothing like a person who describes who they want us to know, or what they want us to know about them. So what can you tell us about who you are?
First of all, I am a woman of God, and I trust God in all that I do. I am the CEO and president of V&J Holdings Company, which is a multi-state, multi-brand franchisor or franchisee of various brands. We also have other business divisions within our corporate umbrella, and just grateful to be sharing with you on today.
Thank you so much for that wonderful, humble introduction. And for those who don't know, she is a mentor of mine for a few years, and I am so grateful for the favor of God that she is a mentor of mine. And when she offered to become a mentor of mine, I was somewhat in shock, and still am to this day, but thanks to the mentorship that she has provided, and I am where I am, and I'm taking notes as well on how it is to remain humble and to give back. She is also a well-known author, and she doesn't gloat on herself at all. But as you heard in her own introduction, she has multiple establishments business-wise. But most of all, she is an uphold the banner of God in terms of her upbringing. And I read a lot about her in her book. If you don't know about her book, then I will suggest you take a look at her book, and you can find that information on ValerieDanielsCarter.com. It's called His Business is Your Business. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Or your business is his business. I believe I got that backwards at first.
Your business is his business. It's where destiny takes you.
Yes, and if you haven't gotten your copy of that book, you please purchase your copy today. And I believe there's a special going on that if you insert the word education, that is an actual promotional code that you can put in your cart when you purchase the book, and the proceeds of the book will go to educational and medical charitable incentives that she has. I'm honored to be I'm honored to be a part of assisting with a couple of projects that she has in terms of a lot of work that she's done overseas. Can you tell me about some of the charitable incentives that you're working on?
I certainly can, because it is without question one of the greatest blessings I have. We have several orphanages over in Kenya that we support, as well as an educational facility, and we recently built and developed a medical clinic that is serving those that are less fortunate and doing extremely well. The other thing that I'm extremely proud of is that over the last 24 months, we've been able to seed capital and put over 114 women in business so that they can create their own destiny and they can create their own place of worship or ability to give and worship. And so I'm just so elated over that, just knowing that through the faithfulness of what we've been able to do, we've been able to empower women in all various types of businesses, all the way from chicken farming to bead making to soap making to fish farming to pig raising, just a number of different entities, clothes making businesses that we've been able to seed and encourage women to seek after greater heights and deeper depths. So that is by far, Jennifer, something that I'm extremely proud of.
Wow. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of women that I come in contact with when it comes to branding and graphic design, come to me with a proposition or a project in mind, and they might say, well, we're at the beginning stages and we're not exactly sure which way to go with it. But I've also learned not only to watching Dr. Carter as a mentor of mine, how important it is to give back, but not to demean your value in terms of what you can do for your community, no matter what level you're starting off on in terms of business, or even as a mentor. I had one lady, she is retiree, and she wanted to become a member of the Business of Professional Women, and she had a little doubt in terms of what she can provide or any type of value, but any type of mentorship that you can provide, it'll be great in terms of building the self-esteem and empowering other women. So I take my hat off to you in terms of following through your word, in terms of mentoring me, but not only that, mentoring women across the entire world. So I'm so grateful for that. In terms of throughout the book, it talks about her strategy and coming from the beginning points of business to where she is today. But I want to ask you, comparing to when you first started out in business, do you feel that there's been a major advancement as it pertains to the economic equality for women today in terms of when you started out?
Oh, I think there are huge strides that women have made. I started out in business 35 years ago, and so when I look back and look at the opportunities and the access to capital that women have today, and just the level of business acumen in terms of understanding how to navigate through probably what would be considered the most difficult aspect of women in business, the financing strategies that they need for their business. There's so many more opportunities to get access to capital to help people grow or build or develop their business. So when I look at the opportunities that exist in the marketplace today, I would tell you that there's been significant improvement over when I initially started.
Awesome. And when it comes to mentorship or coaching in particular, who has been your mentor or your coach throughout the years?
Well, I've had to lean on individuals that were experts in my industry. Dr. Willie Barrow, who is now deceased, but who was the chairperson of Operation Push, was extremely instrumental. But the greatest inspiration that I had were my parents, and supporters were both my mother and father and my husband, who all encouraged me to do well. My father was an entrepreneur, so I saw firsthand what it took in order to sustain yourself in business. But my greatest cheerleader, if you will, was my husband, and my supporters were my brothers and sisters and my family. So that's kind of how I've been pushed and motivated.
Awesome. And why do you think, shifting gears a bit, but why is it important to make room for growth in terms of business? And how do you know when it's time to hire staff?
Well, you have to look at your capacity, and once you determine what your capacity is and what you can accomplish, then you measure how far you want to go, and there it lies your ability to determine whether or not you need to add staff or you can manage things singularly. But if you're going to grow your business, you need to know at what critical path or what critical point to look at bringing on additional individuals to help grow the business, because you can become so narrowly focused until you can allow the business to suffer because of your inability to release some things and allow other people that are expertise in an area to help you manage and grow the business. So you have to measure what your capacity is and then look at what your vision is. And as you begin to walk further in that vision, at integral points, you have to bring people in to help fulfill it.
That's awesome. And I guess we're being in business, myself as a designer, I've learned how important it is. I guess I'm going shifting back and forth, but it goes hand in hand in terms of growing and giving. And then that's kind of our theme for this year, finding your value in yourself on our magazine that's coming out, but growing and giving. And so on that note, it's so great to give back. It's an asset. And then we're also following in the lines of our supervisor, Dr. Gladys Ross, and our Bishop Frankie Faniel, who are complete humble people, similar to you, your personality as well, and are always giving back. And initially, I didn't know how important it was to give back until I started to do it, and then I became aware of how much favor was in that. And so giving back is so important, and it actually adds on to your longevity in terms of balancing out, because you find people along the way that give back and sow back into you mentally and spiritually. So again, I can't reiterate how grateful I am for you taking time for this interview first off, and then giving back to me as a business owner. Another question would be, what would you tell the young version of yourself as it pertains to business longevity, and where do you see yourself 20 years from now?
Hopefully retired on the beach 20 years from now. But in terms of growth and opportunity, right now my life is all about intergenerational transfer, and it is about developing other individuals to grow, and for me to share with them my experiences so they don't have to make the same mistakes that I made, and so that they will have a higher level of wisdom and knowledge in order to be able to even grow and access things greater than what I've been able to accomplish. So if I can motivate individuals to do a great job and to continue to build on the platform that they've established, then that is, in my book, rewarding. And that's really where I am in life, offering opportunity, trying to make sure that I feed back into things that are important and into people's lives that are trying to or looking for betterment.
That's awesome. And that actually segues to our last question in terms of giving back even to the next generation. It's so many people, and I'm not being particular, but specifically African Americans who can share the spotlight. And sometimes, I don't know, sometimes often, I've heard it say, and I think it's a false statement, but I've heard it say sometimes we don't share in terms of spotlight. But I think it's so important. Even we can see in the arena where the entertainment arena where we're having spotlight shine on our culture, and then just given the opportunity. Sometimes it's all open doors, all we need. But with the business and professional women, we have a league of a young professional spotlight, and that's basically shining a light on, passing the torch to the next generation. There's so many of us that have gifts and talents that we can share and help each other. And I really hate to hear when we even devalue our own identity spiritually or even in business. And so my objective as a business owner and president of Business Professional Women is to highlight others, empower other women and other young women. And again, that leads us to our last question in terms of when it comes to branding your own identity. Why is it important to be well represented as it pertains to individual brand identity?
Because you want to ensure that, number one, your legacy is that which you want it to be defined as. Number two, you want other women in business to see that you can accomplish and achieve certain goals and initiatives. And it doesn't matter whether or not you're on the employer side or the employee side. If you are a female in business, you deliver excellence at the level where you are, and that should be fulfilling for you. And the branding of just trying to make sure people understand that it doesn't matter how bright your name may be in lights. The real test of branding is the true nature of who you are as a person. And so you always want the nature of who you are as a person to be reflective in all that you do, all that you touch, all the individuals that associate and are around you. They recognize what your mission, what your goal, and what your initiatives were, and that you were able to achieve them.
That's excellent, and I thank you so much for your time today, and I appreciate you making the time even to be my mentor. Having said that, it's been a while since I got a chance to physically talk, as her schedule is very busy, but I want to take the time to say thank you for your mentorship And again, soon my book will be out pretty soon. I'll be
Very
honored
good.
to give you a copy, and she has written the forward for it, so everyone look forward to hearing that. And again, thank you for your platform, for how you pave the way for others, and I continue to pray for your success now and in the future. Thank you so much for your time. You have a blessed day.
Okay, you too, and I'm praying for your success. And how's that wonderful daughter of yours?
She's doing very well. Thank you for asking.
That's good. Tell her I said hello.
Will
Well, tell
do.
your entire family I said hello. Bless
I
you.
sure. Thank you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.